The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Well, Sonny, look at that first half. One thing of importance is that Washington wanted to have the lead in the time of possession in this game.
And they didn't. You see it 17-30 to 12-30. But look at the passing yardage for Washington. -8 yards. Joe has only thrown the ball 4 times. The secondary of the Saints has done an excellent job in the first half, playing the run, but also shutting down the pass, because the number of times that he's gone back to throw the ball, he's either been sacked or had to run with the football.
One big turnover in that first half by the Saints. A mishandled punt by Motti set up the first field goal, and here is Garoya Premium kicking off. Back deep is Buddy Hardiman, and Hardiman is going to take it at the 8-yard line. Hardiman is hit, and I mean hit, and drilled backwards. He had no chance that time as Reggie Mathis, their second-round draft pick out of Oklahoma, been a real star on their special teams, dropped him, and that'll be at the 15-yard line.
Boy, he did. He broke all the blocking down and went right through and stopped them right at the 15.
Only an 8-yard return, and that's not characteristic of Hardiman. So the Redskins, who have a chance today to move into first place in the NFC East, have the football at the 15-yard line. Theismann to Riggins, and Riggins, as the flag goes down, gets maybe 2 yards to the 17-yard line. Fred Wyatt, man in charge, indicates holding against Washington, so that'll back him up.
Boy, this isn't the way you want to start on offense starting the second half. You want to come out and establish yourselves, get the ball moving, have a good drive, go down and get some points. So
excuse me, Sonny.
So you can dictate to the defense.
Don Warren comes out. Gene
holding, number 63, offense, first down.
Replaces him, and that, by the way, Sonny, is the first penalty against Washington.
It's only the 3rd penalty of the game.
And so it'll be 1st and 17 at the 8-yard line. Bugs, along with Thompson, are flanked out. So we said Fugitt's in at the tight end spot. Theismann gives off to Benny Malone, and Malone hammers it out to the 14-yard line. Still about a yard short of the original line of scrimmage. Joe Fetterspiel, the Iron Man of this football team, made the stop.
A little quick trap up the middle, you see right there. Dean leading the play, Malone coming through, getting a quick handoff. Terry Hermling coming over, doing a good job. They finally make the play. Pat Hughes comes in.
Well, that Fetterspiel missed only 1 game in his career. Earlier this year, he had 18 tackles, 14 unassisted against Atlanta.
See the 15 yards there by Theismann, but he was sacked a couple of times.
11 yards to go for the first down. Malone has it, and he has a first down catch, and his forward progress out to the 39-yard line. Benny Malone, they don't throw to him all that much. That's his 9th catch of the year.
They don't. I think that's why it crossed him up, and that's why he came open. They flooded the zone weak side. Both backs coming out weak side, and you'll see Malone goes deep, runs a fan pattern. You'll see him coming in inside of the linebacker. Riggins outside, and Joe just lays it over into the open, the void right there. Malone couldn't keep his balance. He couldn't stay in bounds. He goes out of bounds. They pick up a first down.
25-yard pickup. They're really crossing up some tendencies today. They're using people differently than they have in the past. Theismann to Riggins, or check that, Gene Fugit at the 50-yard line. What I started to say is earlier they had Harmon one time and Hardiman in. They ran the ball. Now they leave Malone in and they throw the football.
It's good to do that because people start playing your tendencies, and I think same thing was true of New Orleans when they ran the draw against the nickel defense and picked up a big first down right at the end of the half.
Kind of a cat and mouse game out here. 2nd down 10, just short of the 40-yard line. 14-10, the Saints with the lead. They've led the entire game. Thompson in motion. Theismann off to Benny Malone. Malone to the 40, 45, and hit hard. That's Joe Fetterspiel, who spun him around at the 45-yard line, but he picked up 6 yards on the play.
Malone is really running hard today. He's a very slashing type runner. You see the big strides he takes. Some people criticize that type of running. Tell you what, he gets a job done. You see him breaking back, following his blocking well, and really takes some punishing hits.
He's having a good day. He has 47 yards on 10 carries.
He was the leading rusher in the first half.
3rd down, a short 5 from the 45-yard line. Theismann back, protection excellent. And it's going to be intercepted by Tommy Myers, his 5th interception of the year. Tommy Myers 5 interceptions. That goes with last year when he had 6. Clarence Harmon was the intended receiver.
Tip balls, and tipping it up in the air. So many teams work on exactly this. Fugate lost his balance, ball tipped up, another one-handed catch by the Saints.
We put a car in a cold room at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 hours later, minus 20. 8 hours later, minus 30. And it still starts. The Die Hard, the battery that lives up to its name. Only at Sears.
George Wendt, whitewater expeditionist. You know what he does for excitement?
I collect stamps. For me, collecting U.S. commemoratives is a special kind of thrill. They honor our country's great people, important events, and natural beauties. Every stamp is a little piece of America. And stamp collecting is one adventure I can share with my son.
Start your collection with the Summer Olympic Block of 4 at your post office now.
How good a boxer is former Dallas Cowboy Ed Too Tall Jones? Be with us next Saturday when the CBS Sports Spectacular features the boxing debut of 6'9" Too Tall Jones. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Well, all year long, the Redskins have played error-free football, but they've just suffered their 9th interception of the year, their 13th turnover, setting the ball up at the 40-yard line. Tommy Myers with his 5th interception on a pass that Gene Fugate couldn't handle when he was falling forward. Ike Harris in motion from the 40-yard line. Chuck Muncie for a yard, and that's all. Archie Manning's team now with the football for the first time in this second half. They have a 14-10 lead.
Carl Lortz really made a good play that time, closing down the hole that he was trying to go through. With the impressive stats, 5 for 9, 100 yards.
Boy, earlier this year, he had an unbelievable day. Set a Saints record. Threw for 365 yards against the 49ers. Second down, 9. Manning gets it off to Galbraith. Galbraith breaks the tackle, stays on his feet. What a job. He ad-libs his way out across the 45 to the 46. Neil Olkowitz, he averted what was about a 1-yard pickup to about a 5-yard gain.
That's right. You watch this little double swing out. You see the little quick pass to him. This is just good running ability. He runs right through the arms of Dave Butts. Kind of spins out of this tackle right here. Monty Coleman couldn't hit him. Talbert chasing. Dusick finally knocks him down.
It's going to be 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Saints. Chandler, Ike Harris, the wide receivers. Henry Childs, we haven't heard from him today, their big tight end. He only had 1 catch last week. Manning, it's his Childs. We just spoke of him, and he has a 1st down catch.
Oh, was that a dangerous play. Tony Peters almost made a play on that football. That was so close. Take a look at this again. Childs coming straight out. Look how close Peters is to making a play on that. The ball wasn't thrown perfectly. Never been a completion. It could have been 6 for the Redskins.
28 catches for Childs, who last year led all tight ends with 53. And it's a 1st down. The ball now at the 48-yard line. And again, Manning's looking very impressive as he's mixing them up. Chuck Muncie gets a block from J.D. Taylor. Is there also Dyron Talbert. Wysocki. Boy, they played that well.
Well, they did. You see Bacon. Watch Bacon. Everybody on that side of the line. Talbot saw it. Wysocki, Bacon. You see Talbot going through. Olkowitz makes the first hit. Bacon takes him down, and he gets up and gives a signal. Don't be running over here my way.
A lot of changes now for the Redskins on this 2nd down. 13 yards to go. They get Ray Waddy in that secondary. You've got to stay alive on this Redskin team, or you're not going to get out on the field at the right time.
You don't get a chance to sit down on the bench, I'll tell you that.
Lost back to the 49-yard line. This is Muncie on the sweep. Block from Dobler, but it's not going to go. Well, wait a minute.
Oh.
He gets it to the 45-yard line. Didn't look like it'd go anywhere. And Muncie is able to make it inside the 45. We're to bring up a 3rd down.
but you just can't quit on him. His strength is so much. When he gets in a pile-up, that's when he starts running. It looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss. He picks up 4 or 5 yards.
Third down now, 7 yards to go.
Big play.
I got to send Harris to the top of the screen, Chandler to the bottom. Saints are 7 of 10 on third down conversions. That's not too bad.
Guess where Lamar Parrish is? Right in the face of Wes Chandler.
There's a blitz being faked by Houston. They give to Galbert to cross him up, and it doesn't work. A ball is fumbled, and the Redskins have it. At the 45, Washington cuts away the second fumble recovery of the day. Perry Brooks runs out of the pile with it.
What they do, the same play they had success on in the first half, running the draw against the nickel defense. They lose a football. Washington comes up with it again.
Marvin and I just love to go camping in our Pinto wagon.
And so does our son Richard. Right, Dad, we camp in our Pinto wagon, too.
And so do our married daughters.
Pinto's great for taking the kids. And husbands, too.
That makes 4 generations, then 4 Pinto wagons.
Introducing the 1980 Pinto wagon with the best gas mileage rating of any wagon built in America.
For camping, you need a Pinto wagon.
And someone who knows how to cook.
And I'm that someone. Right, Dad.
You survey where the land is wild and unforgiving, filling in empty places on maps that until now have been almost unknown. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer. Miller Beer.
Tonight on CBS, catch a brand new edition of 60 Minutes. And building pains hit Archie Bunker's place, followed by One Day at a Time and Alice. The laughs continue on the Jeffersons, and Pernell Roberts stars as Trapper John, M.D. That's all tonight on CBS.
Oh, kiss my grits. Is that girl funny on Alice?
From the 45, the 28th turnover produced by the defense this year, and Benny Malone carrying the ball for about a yard. An opportunistic Washington defense again, coming up with a fumble recovery. Ken Bordelon making that tackle for New Orleans.
And Jack Pardee very quickly, 2nd and long. He's coming in with his passing team. Harmon Hardeman and Gene Fugit coming in.
That means Malone comes out and Riggins comes out. Warren comes out. As it will be 2nd down and virtually, well, let's make it 9 yards to go. They're inside that stick, but not by much.
This is where you could end up with a draw play. They've been running the draw, doing a lot of different things in this formation.
On a 2nd and 9, Theismann off to Harmon. Harmon to the 49, and that's going to bring up a long ways to go for 3rd down, as Pat Hughes read that well. Hughes has 3 interceptions this year. He's the kind of guy that each year they kind of think will get beat out of that job, and he's in his 10th year out of Boston University.
Got to give the linebackers of the Saints a lot of credit today, Gary. Washington has had a lot of success this year throwing to the backs coming out of the backfield. They've done a good job against them.
3rd down, 7. McDaniel replaces Ricky Thompson. He and Budge are split to the top of the picture. Theismann over the middle to Warren, and that'll be a 1st down catch. Warren makes the grab, and it's a 1st down. Ray Brown, the strong safety, made the tackle.
Just a little looky pass. They caught the middle linebacker going the wrong way. They overload one side. You just see it right there. He comes free, gets all the way to the strong safety, Ray Brown. 1st down, Washington.
8-yard pickup. Warren now with 10 catches. He was their #1 pick this year in the 4th round. Boy, what a find he's been. The ball now marked at the 43-yard line. 7:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Riggins and nothing. Don Reese was there. Help arrive. Fetterspiel. Joe Fetterspiel just all over the place.
Boy, that defensive line doing a heck of a job. Reese, Moore, Bennett, Groom, all of them. You see them coming right through Pat Hughes, and they just stuffed the play. All of them Fetterspiel in on the play. That's good swarming defense.
You know, Dick Nolan said the difference in the last 2 weeks is we're striking out blows. You know, early in the season, we lacked aggressiveness. We're still thinking about what we had to do.
Well, using the flex defense as they do, it takes you a while to learn how to play that.
Second and 10. Theismann to Harmon. Harmon to the 40, to the 35-yard line. He's 2 yards short of the first down. Tom Myers made the stop. Boy, Harmon really running the ball effectively.
Yeah, they always have so much more flexibility when they go to their passing because they expect you to pass, and it makes the run so much more effective. And you can see he's got good running room. They're not playing the run. They're playing it soft, and he picks up a big gain. It's 3rd and 1.
Harmon this year has been averaging 4.7 per carry, has 2 for 26 yards today. At the 35, 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Theismann back. Hits his man Hardeman for the first down, and the Redskins are impressive. Tommy Myers making the stop. First down at the 26-yard line.
They caught him on a blitz that time. Joe very smartly just laid the ball up to Hardeman. You see him right here going back. The blitz was coming. Hughes was coming. And Tommy Myers has to come over. And boy, he saves a touchdown making that tackle.
9-yard pickup on the play. And the Redskins continue to filter people back and forth. Now they have Buggs and Thompson in as wide receivers. First down. Benny Malone to the 25, to the 20, and is he running hard? He's to the 18-yard line. 3 yards short of another first down.
Good block by Fred Dean that time, and also John Riggins leading the play.
Let's check a score on New England and Baltimore.
New England, Baltimore, 14-13. Baltimore got its first. Joe Washington scored on a run, his first rushing touchdown of the year.
I tell you, Burt Jones started playing last week, and I'm sure it makes a lot of difference in that football team. Malone now with 57 yards on 12 carries. Second down, 2. A little delay to Harmon. Harmon has a first down, a first and goal at the 7. Tommy Myers made the stop, and they're just moving them off the line of scrimmage right now.
The offensive line really doing a good job now. They got them guessing defensively. They have them playing defense. The draw play. Harmon continues to make big plays for the Redskins. Again, the Washington Redskins taking advantage, capitalizing on the other team's mistake. They got a fumble. They're going down for some points. They did it in the first half.
Ball at the 6.5-yard line. First and goal for Washington. They trail at 14-10. Malone again. Malone to the 5. Malone to the 3. It'll be second and goal there. Coming up, 37, Tommy Myers. He's made a lot of tackles in the second half. He's had to, because they are not stopping him up front right now. So the Redskins have had a tough time in this part of the field. One time they didn't get in, the next time they had to work hard, and finally Theismann took it in.
That gives them, as you mentioned in the first half, and really when you have quarterbacks that can run like Manning and Theismann, it's such an advantage because Theismann's going to call a timeout. He got some wrong information coming from the sidelines, and he wanted to make sure this play called a timeout, and is going to the sidelines to talk to offensive coordinator Joe Walton.
Benny Malone came trotting off the field just before that. The ball is at the 3-yard line. It'll be second and goal there as Joe Theismann, one of the big reasons this football team has been playing so very well. Ranked second in the NFC, the second leading completion percentage.
Used to be when I had a job to do around the house, it was one-on-one. Me against the house. And since the house was much bigger, I usually lost. Well, I've just changed all that with my new Black & Decker Workmate. It'll hold just about anything I want to work on, from a door to a pipe to a 200-pound dresser. In fact, my Workmate is so good at helping me work, I'm giving it Sunday off.
Workmate's available from about $45.
If anyone looks forward to the start of a new day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store, because each new day is filled with challenging customer requests for quality parts and friendly service. Take yesterday, for example.
Got an oil filter for a Ferrari?
Do you hook the black one to the plus or minus?
I need heavy-duty shocks. A muffler for a Merc. Boy, have you got metric tools.
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A.
Have you got a cup of coffee? Sure.
The hard-working auto parts store.
Next Saturday, be with us for the first installment of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders on the CBS Sports Spectacular. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
With Sonny Jurgensen, I'm Gary Bender. We have 3:43 to go in the third quarter. Second and goal at the 3 for Washington. They trail 14-10. This will be the 10th play on a drive that started from their own 45-yard line after the fumble recovery by Perry Brooks. Theismann, play action, lots of time to throw. Now scrambling, Grooms giving chase, and Grooms makes quite a play at the 10-yard line.
Does he ever make quite a play? Great football play by Lois Grooms. They went to the play action fake. They were trying to go to Don Warren in the corner. He could not find him. You see the play action right here. Faking the ball to Hardeman, coming across, wanting to throw. If Joe could have found Clarence Harmon, but he was under a lot of pressure from Grooms, and he goes down hard.
We've watched Grooms the last 2 weeks, and I don't think he's played as well as anybody I've seen.
He has.
Third sack of the day, totaling 31 yards. Grooms had a couple last week, coming in here 2 today. Now, third and goal at the 10. Theismann wants to throw, and it's broken up. Is it a fumble or an incomplete pass? Incomplete pass. That's Grooms again that was in there messing that one up.
Boy, he certainly is. They got a penalty down in the end zone. We're going to have a penalty, a pass interference call, a holding call, and the drive is still alive.
That'll be an automatic first down.
Automatic first down, a big break for the Redskins.
That's Mike Fultz, 72, falling on the ball, but that's off. Defensive pass interference holding against New Orleans. It was back in the end zone where the flag was thrown. Let's listen now to Fred Wyatt.
Holding, number 27, defense, first down.
That's Ray Brown, the strong safety, and what a break in the game for Washington.
I never saw the play because I tell you, watching Theismann under the pressure and whether or not it was going to be, he was going forward with the ball when it was knocked out of his hands.
So it's now first and goal at the 5-yard line.
New life for the Redskins. A big break for them.
Saints have really played tough inside the 10. Benny Malone and Mike Fultz has he. That's the big guys, had all kinds of injury problems out of Nebraska. Second-round draft pick in 77. He's hurt a knee, but he played well on that play.
Well, I tell you, Fultz came through and made a good play on Benny Malone there. They played tough inside of that 10-yard line, and they're forcing Pardee to go right back with his passing unit. He comes in with everybody, sending 5 players this time.
And this is not what the Saints are known for, is their defense. They have played well today, very well. Second and goal now from the 8-yard line. Theismann trying to get this one in. He has the man over the middle. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Hardeman.
He was just a little bit behind him, man. Good play this time. Hardeman swings out of the backfield, cuts across the middle. Washington loves to do this. They do this a lot of times. You see the ball just on his back shoulder. Pat Hughes made a good play, jarred the ball loose.
Boy, what a tenacious defense by New Orleans.
Looked like a catchable ball.
Third and goal at the 8-yard line. Saints would like to have them settle for a field goal and come away with at least a 1-point lead. Theismann again, pressure, and he's not going to get rid of it. Barry Bennett and Mike Fultz. I cannot believe this New Orleans defense.
I'll tell you something, they are fired up, and what a job they're doing. 1 minute Washington is dominating them, and they come right back when they have to, and they make the play defensively. They sack Theismann again.
I tell you, with the offense the Saints have, if their defense plays like this, they are bona fide contenders.
Where they are. This is something that I'm sure really makes Dick Nolan happy to see, an inspired defensive play that he's seeing right here.
This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt. The 13-yard line's where they are now after starting at the 5 after the penalty. Mosley's kick is blocked. It is blocked. Clarence Chapman getting on the ball at the 15-yard line.
Well, you don't see that very often. You see how they're dominating that line of scrimmage right now, and you can see a happy New Orleans Saints team. They turned the Redskins away with nothing, and they had a lot of breaks on that drive.
Well, it's a 14-10 score. The Saints hanging on with an excellent defensive effort.
There are times when any investor needs security. Protection from the unknown. Low-risk investments with a solid return. We know where the best ones are, because our strength, instinct, and resourcefulness is unmatched by any other investment firm. Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
Introducing the 1980 Ford Fairmont, the right idea for today.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont? The right idea for today. Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Fairmont is the right idea for today, with even higher 4-cylinder mileage than last year. And in 6s with 4-speed transmission, no car beats Fairmont's estimated MPG.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Glad, glad, glad.
The right idea for today.
Well, Mark Mosley had a field goal block, Sonny. Let's go back and see who got it.
Eric Felton, the cornerback. You see him coming on the left of your screen, diving. I don't know if the timing was a little bit off, but boy, you give him a lot of credit. And give credit to that defensive team, huh?
That was a great effort by Felton.
Oh,
he just went flying through there.
Their whole defensive team is fired up now. The Redskins going to have to get on track if they expect to get back into this football game.
You realize that Washington had the ball 8 minutes and 3 seconds, and they didn't score.
And that was right from the 50-yard line.
They had everything going for them. That's the first miss, by the way, by Mosley inside the 47-yard line. He was trying a 30-yarder. And now at the 16, first down for the Saints. Give to Galbraith, Tony Galbraith. Nothing going on that play at all. The reason being, good reaction that time by Paul Smith, number 78. Veteran from the Denver Broncos, 2 times in the Pro Bowl. Boy, they say when that ball is snapped, he's ready to play.
I mean, the score indicates that they're 2 evenly matched teams, 14-10 score. Washington has taken advantage of in their first half and got some points. I'll tell you something, it gets down now, who wants it the most?
Boy, and that defense showed me they wanted it. Gain out to about the 18-yard line, 2nd and 8, Manning wanted to throw. He throws it to Galbraith. Galbraith better put that ball away. He dives forward to the 19-yard line. Well, he has great hands.
I didn't think he was going to catch it. I thought Manning was throwing the ball away, but he reaches up and catches the thing.
Tampa Bay, boy, they've got quite a battle with Minnesota going on.
2 field goals in that one by Neil O'Donoghue and the other one Dan Meyer. 3-3, second period.
You know, Tampa Bay has the #1 ranked defense in the NFC, and this Saint team registered against them 397 yards earlier this year. Here we go, 3rd down and 8. Manning throwing under some pressure. Chandler making his kind of flag on the play. That's the same play they scored on earlier.
That's right, exactly. Same pattern, the corner pattern. They had it covered this time because they had 2 men on him. We have a flag down. I don't know who the penalty is going to be on.
It's in the secondary, which would indicate some pass interference. Either one way or the other. Fred Wyatt will indicate it right now, and it is defensive pass interference against Washington, an automatic first down.
Is that what a straight arm means by the official? I'm glad you're pointing these things out to me. I never could understand all these signals.
Bet you quarterbacks knew all those calls.
We take a look at the whole secondary. Let's listen to see who the guilty party
contact,
is.
Number 24, defense. First down.
Lamar Parrish got caught. You can see they're going over to the other side. You see Parrish right at the top of your screen, to your right of your screen, right here. He is past 5 yards. He is not allowed to make that contact after 5 yards, and he made contact a little late then. The right call by the official.
Good pictures that time by director Jim Silman pointed that out.
Certainly were, weren't they?
First down now from the 23-yard line. Galbraith up the middle. Not for much, but across the 25-yard line. Keep you guessing a little bit. You think they're going to throw every down, and then they'll try to cross you up in the middle, and it's worked on a couple of occasions.
A couple of occasions they've been successful with it.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Detroit leading Buffalo 14-3. That's in the 3rd period. Cleveland has come back, taking the lead over your boys. They're leading 10-6 over the St. Louis Cardinals now.
Cardinals in a couple of weeks will be here to play the Washington Redskins. Icaris, Wes Chandler to the bottom of the screen. 11 seconds left here in a very exciting third quarter. Manning back, protection there, and he has his man Childs, and that'll be a first down catch as we end our third quarter. So the New Orleans Saints, after 3 quarters of play, lead the Washington Redskins 14-10. We'll now pause for a word from your local station.
Coolidge's apartment house burned down.
So the White Shadow gets a roommate.
He's going to adopt you. You mean you got the place all to yourself?
And it's more than he bargained for Monday.
This is CBS.
Sunday, Archie Bunker's place adds a restaurant, but
we are broke.
And on one day at a time, the newlyweds move in and the honeymoon is really over. Next,
You're fired.
Alice has to outflow Flo. Then on the Jeffersons, it's Halloween and the killer rabbit attacks. Loads of laughs Sunday.
We concluded the third quarter play with this first down catch by Henry Childs.
And give that offensive line of the Saints, J.T. Taylor, Xanders Hill, Doblin Woods, a lot of credit for this completion because they gave Manning a lot of time to throw the football. He found Childs, his tight end, coming across the middle, enough for the first down. They're doing a good job keeping the pass rushes off of Manning.
So Childs has 2 big catches in the second half. First down now at the 39-yard line as we start the fourth quarter. That's Icaris in motion. Give to Muncie, Muncie to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. Trying to keep him honest up the middle. Dave Putz, all 285 pounds of him. Kind of stuffed that one up. Going to bring up second down now and still 8 yards to go. There's Manning's stats. Very judiciously throwing the football today. 124 yards. We said earlier this year he had a 365-yard day. He has really been something the last 2 years. Second down, 8 yards to go. Far side, Icaris, and Harris is not going to go very far because Ray Waddy, the free agent out of Texas A&I, has been quite a find for this football team. Read it well. It comes to a third down and still almost 8 yards to go.
They get a little more quickness in, bringing Waddy in to play the corner instead of Tony Peters. They got Parrish at one corner and Ray Waddy at the other. They diagnosed that perfectly and made a good play.
Cleveland and St. Louis, second quarter score, and the Cardinals have gone back up on top, 13-10. Manning now 10 of 14. Third down, 7. Manning with only one set running back behind him over the middle, intended for Childs. Tony Peters defending on the play, but Coy Bacon came through and Manning was on the seat of his pants after that play.
Taylor kind of slips this time, doesn't do the job keeping him away. Manning has to throw the ball away. He's just being safe with it, throws it out in front. He realizes he's going to take a hit from Bacon, and Bacon really gets a good hit on him. You can see Manning wisely kept the ball away from the interception.
Partridge done quite a job kicking. 3 punts, a 41.3 average. He'll be kicking from his own 28. Hardiman back for Washington. 13:32 left in the game. Partridge hits a high kick away from Hardiman, and it's taken a Saints bounce, and it's going to die inside the 10-yard line. Rich Motti down there.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
There's just so much to do. A week isn't enough.
Hey, this superstar can do it all in one day.
Good luck, Star.
Holiday Inn Resorts have the best locations near the things you want to do. That's just one reason Holiday Inn Resorts are #1 in people-pleasing.
Enough for today.
Don't forget the disco contest.
Holiday Inn is #1
Superstar
in people-pleasing.
When Napa first made the claim that lots of Napa parts are better than your car's original parts, some folks were skeptical.
Better than the original?
Better than the original?
Better than the original.
So before we could make that claim on TV, we were told to do one small thing.
Prove it!
So we did. Lots of Napa parts are better than your car's original parts. So visit your Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa. We help keep America moving.
Boy, what a lineup on Monday night, huh?
Good Monday night on CBS.
That's going to the White Shadow. I guess they've got all kinds of problems there as Coolidge's apartment goes up in smoke. And then an hour of comedy starts with MASH, WKRP in Cincinnati, and Lou Grant meets a human guinea pig. That's all on CBS Monday night. Well, that was a 47-yard kick by Partridge. It's at the 10-yard line. The Redskins down by 4 with 13:22 left in the game. Thompson in motion. Theismann play action on first down. Has time to throw. And the man, Malone, can't get to it. Clarence Chapman defending on a play. Good protection that time.
He had good protection that time. I think Joe was a little hesitant about putting the ball down the middle. He had Ricky Thompson coming on a crossing pattern, but he didn't quite pick it up and hold the ball quite long enough, and he threw the ball away.
And now he gets his passing offense in. He brings in Harmon and Hardiman as Malone and Riggins check out. 2nd and 10 from the 10. Theismann again from the goal line, in trouble. Fultz has got him, and Mike Fultz, who really hasn't contributed much to this football team, has arrived here this afternoon.
Well, he's done a job today, and again, in the passing situation, you see that offensive line is having a lot of problems with Fultz and company. Boy, everybody's getting a lot of pressure around the football, and Joe's been sacked how many times now?
5 times.
5 sacks? What do they have going into this thing? Only 10 sacks for the year.
43 yards, too, on those 5 sacks. And Mike Fultz, by the way, that's his first of the year as he came storming up there. Here's a little delay to Harmon. Harmon trying to go wide. Outside the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's 4th down. Don Reese. And I would assume that the Saints defense is playing with as much confidence as they've ever played.
They're doing a job. They've really shut the offense down completely. Theismann hasn't had any big completions.
And now the Saints are going to come away with excellent field position as Monty goes back to the 50-yard line.
If they field the football
well,
properly.
That's a big if. As earlier in the game, Monty coughed the ball up, setting up a 3-pointer. Bragg will kick. He's got to be careful about stepping out of the back of that end zone. There's his average for the day. Frisch will snap the ball. And he hits it out to the 42. Fair catch. Monty almost didn't get that signal at the time. Monty Coleman was storming down after him. And he very quickly and very wisely got that hand in the air.
I think he felt him coming, and he did get it up. But as you said, very late.
A 35-yard kick by Bragg.
The world's most advanced twin-blade razors are only as careful, gotcha, as you are. The Norelco Rechargeable Rotary Razor has 36 surgical steel blades, carefully protected by 3 floating heads, and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave wherever you are, without a nick or a cut. The choice is yours. The close, careful Norelco Rechargeable Rotary Razor, or 2 blades and gotcha.
Last week, I went looking for a bargain on a muffler. So I go to a department store auto center. I said, get me out in under an hour. He says, what am I, Houdini? So I go to a muffler shop. I say, does that fit my car? He says, I'll make it fit. So I go to a gas station. I said, how about a guarantee in writing? He says, who's got time to write? Their idea of a bargain was no bargain. Midas gave me a good price and everything I wanted. It pays to Midasize.
Next Sunday, it's a CBS NFL doubleheader. Check local listing for the games and times in your area. A super Sunday of football. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Need I remind you how important this game is to the Washington Redskins.
Steelers got their second touchdown, a 48-yard run by Franco Harris.
Score here, the Saints leading at 14-10. They have a first down at the 42 of Washington. 11:55 left in the game. It's been some game here from RFK Stadium. Archie Manning to Chuck Muncie. Muncie has some blockers. He's to the 35-yard line. You can see that play develop. That's one of the more effective sweeps they've had. Brad Dusick making the tackle.
Well, you just power running this time. Nothing fancy about it. Conrad Dobler going out, Robert Woods in front of him. Dobler makes a good block, and then you see the power of Chuck Muncy.
7-yard pickup. Dobler, you know, is playing with those knees that have been operated on. He can't run without a limp, but he still gets out there, doesn't he?
He does a good job. Good football player.
2nd and 3 from the 35 of Washington. Galbraith hit by Carl Lorch back there. A loss back to the 39-yard line. Olkowitz, Monty Coleman reacting well. And that was a play that Washington really needed.
Yeah, they did. They kind of anticipated where the play was going. The line was moving that way. Lorch jumped outside of his block from Woods and made the play and threw him for a little loss.
Loss of 2. Be 3rd down now, 5. Olkowitz comes out. They bring in Murphy. As Manning apparently going to put it in the air. He has Harris. Chandler. Also Muncy flanked out. Only Galbraith remains behind him. Back. Complete to Galbraith. Murphy can't get him. Galbraith stays on his feet, and he's to the 32-yard line, and that is very, very close to a 1st down. Murphy had a crack at him and couldn't get him back there.
Just great running ability by Tony Galbraith. I tell you, he could have been stopped for a big loss, and he just dodges people. Take a look at this. You'll see the Redskins were not fooled by the play. They were on the blitz. Coleman was right in his face. Here comes Lorch. And you see right there, a miss there. Cuts back, breaks a tackle, keeps running. He broke a tackle by Tony Peters. And I tell you, they're going to have to measure for the 1st down. Big play for the Saints.
Now, if they don't get it, will they go for it on 4th down?
They're not going to have to.
No, sir. They got it by the length of a football. And that's what the Saints can do to you. With great ability by Galbraith, Muncy, Chandler, they can make an ordinary play into a very big game.
I think you said it early in the 1st half, Gary. Exceptional talent at the skilled positions.
Galbraith has 58 yards on 19 carries. He has 5 catches for 40 yards.
Minnesota leading Tampa Bay 10-3. That's in the 1st quarter.
1st down from the 32, inside 10 minutes remaining to this game. The Redskins can ill afford to let him get on the board again. Here's Muncy, hit hard. As he's inside the 30 to about the 29. Dave Hudson, Brad Dusick. Pretty good collision that time. 2nd down coming up. Perry Brooks comes in. Murphy comes out. Also coming out is Wysocki, Byron Talbert.
In the 3rd quarter, Detroit. What about this? Benny Ricardo, 41-yard field goal. They're now leading 17-3.
That's the team that the Saints beat last week, 17-7.
Houston leading the Jets 24-10. That's also in the 3rd.
2nd down, 8. Little delay to Galbraith. Galbraith is going to be dropped short of the 25-yard line. Ken Houston made a very good tackle that time, and that's not surprising. And at the 26, it's another 3rd down for the New Orleans Saints.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of Garo Yepremian. And with that streak that he has going, and they're getting very close to his range right now.
Which, of course, then would set up a possibility of a tie if, in fact, the Redskins could come back. We have a lot of possibilities right now.
What I say, we were going to be hit till 2:30. We could be hit till Tuesday.
Longest field goal of the year for Garo is 38 yards, so he's quite a ways out. On a 3rd and 4, Galbraith, and Galbraith isn't going to get the 1st down. Brad Dusick. Dusick on this series really a factor. And so now it's 4th down, and here comes Garo. Well, if you're going to keep a streak going, this is a good place to do it. If you don't get it, well, this is going to be a 45-yard attempt.
I'm not sure they're in his range. Has he made one that long this year?
38's the longest he's made.
I tell you, he said today, he said, you know, sooner or later it's going to happen. This might be a little long for him.
There he goes, 4 for 4 for the year, 20 straight over the course of 2 years. Ed Burns to hold, the kick on the way, blocked. Blocked for the 2nd time. Both teams now with a block in this game, and the Redskins have it at the 35. Mosley had one block for 30 yards, and now a 45-yard attempt by Yepremian doesn't get out.
He really has to drive the ball here. Good pressure. Oh, they really come around. I think they got it at the line of scrimmage. Darren Talbot, I think, made the block.
Spread your wings. Introducing the new 1980 Thunderbird, a Thunderbird of new contemporary size that shows its elegant heritage wherever you look. And with its new size and a new 4.2-liter engine, this Thunderbird has excellent estimated gas mileage and also offers the first automatic overdrive option built in America, a new engineering breakthrough. The new size Thunderbird, a better idea for the 80s.
American business is being taken over by revolutionaries. Revolutionary Savin copiers. Savin's advancing in New York, surrounding Dallas. Savin's winning over banks and brokerage houses. Why is big business going for Savin in a big way? Because Savins are fast, economical, and remarkably reliable. In fact, last year, Savin outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. So if you haven't noticed the revolution, you will. Savin, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.
Garo, your premium streak has ended.
Yes,
as
it
we
is.
go back.
I think because of the length of the kick, he has to really drive this kick, trying to get a little more power into it. It's blocked right at the line of scrimmage. It's difficult to tell. I gave it to my old sidekick, Darren Talbot, though.
And so at the 35, the Redskins are alive. They're down by 4 with 7:41 left to be played. That's Thompson going in motion. Theismann thus far. They haven't thrown the ball that well. Here comes Riggins. Riggins with a first down run across the 45 to the 47.
Big run by John Riggins. The Redskins got a chance. Right now, this is the important drive for them. And you see right here, pressure on the offense. Boy, does Bob Cousile really does the job on Joe Fetterspiel that time. He cuts back up the middle, all the way into the secondary. First down for the Redskins.
12 yards. I was talking about their passing.
I know, only 16 yards passing, only 1 catch by a wide receiver, the Redskins.
And they go to Malone. Malone, look at him run, would you? Inside the 50 to the 47. Ray Brown making the tackle. But you can see the Redskins know what they've got to do to pull this one out, and they're coming right at him.
Yeah, they put the pressure right on the offense, and you can see coming right there, the pull, a good block by Williams, the cut back, and you can see, as you mentioned, the strength. Boy, they're really running hard now.
Boy, that Williams, what a player he's becoming. Second-year man out of Rhode Island. Gives him a good inside running game, good pulling guard. Second down and 4, nothing on this play. Harmon had no chance. And so it comes to a third down again. 3rd and 4. Fugit will come in. Thompson will come in. Don Warren will check out. 6:23 and time starting to become important. Malone, by the way, has 65 yards for the day, and that's his high as a Redskin.
What a game of change of momentum back and forth from team to team. Looks like one team's going to move it down the field, and they get stopped by a great play by the defense on the other.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Theismann back on a 3rd and 4. Over the middle, and what a catch. What a catch is made that time by Hardeman. It will be a first down. That was something.
Unbelievable catch. Just a little tight swing out of the backfield. A diving catch. I tell you, Joe had to throw the ball very quickly because, again, Don Reese is putting some pressure right from behind. You see the ball wasn't well thrown. He may have gotten hit a little bit as he was delivering it, but Hardeman comes up with a big play. Good hands by this former Canadian Football League find, a free agent out of Iowa State. First down at the 41. Riggins is hemmed in, and he cuts it up and picks up a couple of yards. Eloise Grooms is the guy that made a move inside. Reese and Bordelon made the stop. I can't say enough about Grooms and his play today. Second down now, and still 7 yards to go. With the clock running down to about 5 minutes in the game, Gary, this is the drive the Redskins have to score. This is also the drive the Saints would like to turn them away. The ball at the 38-yard line. A field goal really of no importance right now. They got to go for 6. 4:51 left in the game. A give to Buddy Hardeman, and Hardeman may have gotten a yard, and that's all, and it's 3rd down, and still a good 7, maybe 6 yards to go. You see Mosley warming up on the side. I don't know if they're too far out now. He has kicked one this year, 53 yards, which is the longest of the year in the NFC.
But again, with the time, they got to be thinking touchdown.
Well, here's also the decision. You know, you're 3rd and long. It's a decision. If you're going to run on 4th down, you may elect to run a draw or something on this particular down. It's according to what the Redskin coaches are thinking.
The Redskins are 6 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Pressure put on, wide open. Don Warren to the 20. The rookies to the 15-yard line. Clarence Chapman made the stop, and Don Warren got open, and they come up with a big 3rd and 7 completion.
Theismann rolls to his left and comes back and just drills. He really has a lot on this ball. The best throw I think he's made all day. Just a stop pattern. Fetterspiel can't quite get there. You see how close he was? I didn't know he had this kind of agility. Look at him leaping over the people, takes it down to the 15-yard line.
6'4", 230-pound rookie out of San Diego State. Big completion, 1st down at the 15. 3:22 left in the game. 14-10, the Saints of the lead. Riggins inside the 15 to the 10. He's fighting his way to the 5. He is close to a 1st and goal.
How many tackles did he break then, Gary? He had to break at least 3 or 4 tackles. Just wouldn't be denied. Take a look at it again. The slant comes right off tackle. Good block by Benny Malone. He breaks a tackle of Reese. You see a linebacker, Fetterspiel, comes off of him. They finally corral him. Clarence Chapman down around the 6-yard line.
They're a yard short of a 1st and goal. 2nd down, a yard to go. And Riggins, one of the class running backs in the NFL, showing what he can do. They're a yard short of a 1st and goal at the 6. And they give to the big guy again, and he has a 1st and goal at about the 1.5. Joe Fetterspiel making the stop. With 2:20 in the clock moving, it's 1st and goal. They're going to mark the ball at the 2-yard line. Look at this big guy out of Kansas. In high school, they ran 109.8.
Here it is again. They give it to the up back in the I formation. Boy, he gets some good blocking that time up front. Grooms took himself out of the play, taking an inside charge, trying to make a big play in the backfield.
And now the 2-minute warning is here. 2 minutes remaining. We come back. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2 for Washington.
You dance on a river of wood, and you never forget that the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing. And when you've coaxed enough logs into place to build a good-sized town, you can finally head for River's End and Miller Time. Miller Time. Time for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer, Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Tonight, Trapper John and Gonzo put their jobs on the line when they hire a nurse who's an ex-con.
It's gone. My diamond brooch.
Don't miss Trapper John MD tonight.
2 minutes remaining in this game. 1st and goal at the 2 for Washington. This is the 10th play coming up on this drive that started from the Washington 35 after a blocked field goal. There they go. Theismann asking for some quiet as this sellout crowd is excited. Has a full house backfield. Now he jumps with Harmon in a wing position to the right. Theismann giving off to Malone. Flag on the play. He did not get in, and there is a flag. The Saints have been so tough inside, and it's going to go, I believe, against the Redskins. Holding. It's holding against Washington. How many times today have we seen New Orleans be tough inside that 10? Twice they've denied them, and one time they had to end up with the touchdown run by Theismann on a scramble to the right. Holding, and that comes at a very inopportune time, as now Fred White will explain who was holding on that play.
Holding, number 74, offense. 1st down.
George Stark, 74. Let's look. They're running right behind Stark. There he is. He's going over the top of his man. Malone going behind his block. But Stark holding on the play and moves the ball out to the 12 where it's 1st and goal there. Sonny Jurgensen is going down to the sideline for our post-game show. He'll be with us very shortly. Back to throw is Theismann. Theismann with time to throw. In the end zone, broken up. A fine defensive play by Fetterspiel, Harmon the intended receiver. Now some people might think that was face guarding, but as long as you don't wave your hands, you can put your hands up in front of the receiver. Now watch this. Theismann back to throw, Harmon's behind him, and there is Fetterspiel getting the hands up. As long as you do not crisscross your arms and make a violent movement with your arms, it is not face guarding. 2nd down goal now at the 12-yard line. It has been tough today for the Redskins. Theismann, 7 of 15 now for 88 yards. McDaniel and Thompson split to the top. 1:51 left in the game. Theismann back again. He's in trouble. He gets away from Barry Bennett, but then he's dropped. Mike Fultz hit him. Fred Wyatt tried to stop it, but Barry Bennett eventually drops him. Another big sack in this football game. Boy, the secondary must be doing a superb job as the Redskins ask for a timeout. Let's look at this. Theismann back. There's Bennett. He gets away from him. Here comes Fultz, 72, dropping him for the loss.
And now, a highlight of the incredible Ford factory tour. Incredible developments in our search for good performance, better mileage, and low emissions. We're working on a ceramic gas turbine engine that'll get at least 30% better mileage than a conventional engine of the same size.
Buddy, I'd call that incredible. I would.
We're experimenting with battery power. For instance, this hybrid vehicle. Over 20 miles per hour, it runs on gas. Under 20, runs on electric.
Oh, that's even more incredible.
Is there such a word as incredible-er?
Ford is even working on an engine that gets mileage like a diesel, but runs a lot cleaner.
Is there anything more incredible than incredible?
Yes, our little 4-cylinder Mustang. It accelerates like some cars with 8-cylinder engines because it's turbocharged.
Friends, I guess there's only one way left to express our basic emotions.
Ford, that's incredible.
To take the incredible Ford factory tour, write us for information.
What a football game we've had here today, and we would take this opportunity to thank our producer Bob Rowe, our director Jim Sillman, our associate producer Ernie Bauer. As this game not decided yet. From the 22-yard line, it's 3rd and goal, the 6th sack of the game by New Orleans for 53 yards in losses. And now at the 22, remember they started this at the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal at the 22, 14-10, the Saints with the lead. Theismann rolling out, pressure put on, far side is caught. Ricky Thompson inside the 10, but it's 4th down. Now what do? A field goal would still leave them a point short. It's bringing up a 4th and goal at the 9-yard line, and they're going to go for it. Let's look again. Theismann getting some additional time to throw by rolling out. Hermeling doing a good job of blocking. Look at this catch by Thompson, right around the knee tops. A 13-yard pickup, and it's just inside the 10, and this may be the play that decides the game. 4th and goal, 1:06 left in the contest. 4th and goal just inside the 10-yard line. And what do we got? A mix-up here on the exchange from center, and flags go everywhere. Now who's this one against? Preliminary signal, illegal procedure against Washington. That'll step off 5 more yards, and the Skins have really been frustrated on this drive. Let's look at it. The center is Bob Kuziel, and they're just not quite together on that play.
False start, number 7, offense, 4th down.
You can see Theismann backed out, and Kuziel never snapped the football. Against Washington now, that's their 4th penalty for 27 yards. It's still a 4th and goal this time, just inside the 15-yard line. 59 seconds left in the game. Theismann on the 4th down, rolling out, looking. He's going to try to run, and he can't get rid of it. He's dumped. Excellent play by Eloise Grooms. It's Grooms again that made the play. Sonny, you're down there on the field. Can you believe the play of Eloise Grooms?
Nobody to throw the ball to. Joe just couldn't not find anybody to throw the ball to. He waited till the last second, couldn't come up with anybody.
As this New Orleans Saints defense has been the story of the day. The ball at the 15-yard line. The Saints have it with 53 seconds left. There's Theismann. Believe it or not, it's hard to remember this, Sonny, but they had a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, that's right. You know, that's when the ball game was on the line. They made a mistake. They had a holding call then, and that's a bad thing when you can't make mistakes there. They had an opportunity. They haven't played well, and you got to give the credit to the Saints. They have played a fine football game.
Have they ever? And now they could move to 5-4. There's Manning falling on the football. Timeout by Washington, and they have only 1 timeout remaining. As the ball is at the 14-yard line. No, they're out of timeouts. 50 seconds. We'll be back with the finale in a moment.
Our corporation had to have an insurance company that pays medical claims promptly, fairly, and courteously. Connecticut General really came through for us.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Dental claim forms are a lot easier to fill out when they're in my language instead of insurancees. And that's how Connecticut General comes through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Call us. We'll come through for you, too.
50 seconds left in the game. There's Joe Theismann with Jack Pardee. The New Orleans Saints defense denying the Washington Redskins the go-ahead touchdown. A 1st and goal at the 2. They held on 4 plays, and now they're just trying to kill the remaining time. 50 seconds left and no timeouts remaining. Boy, what a win this will be for the Saints as Manning falls on it again. So they'll have to run 1 more play off.
And what a missed opportunity, Gary, for the Washington Redskins.
By the way,
the Dallas Cowboys trailing, they had an opportunity to go tied for 1st place.
I tell you, to add to that, Sonny, Roger Staubach has been shaken up in that game with Pittsburgh and taken out with a possible head injury. And so you can see how an opportunity is slipping away from Washington, as they could have gone 7-2 and been tied for 1st in that NFC East. But on the other hand, on the positive side, the Saints could have the lead in the West. And there is Manning falling on it again, and there's no timeouts remaining. And the New Orleans Saints have come in here and won this game 14-10, a lead that they had at halftime. Both teams had field goals blocked in the 3rd and 4th quarter. It was a most entertaining game, and New Orleans, who wanted to come in here and establish themselves as bona fide contenders, Sonny, have certainly done that, haven't they?
They have, Gary. You're talking about it earlier. You said this was a game for them. If they wanted to remain in 1st place, tied for 1st place, they came out here. They did a job. The people I'm most impressed with, not only the offensive threat, the strength that they have offensively, I have to be tremendously impressed with their defensive effort. How many times the Redskins had that football down inside of the goal line, an opportunity to score, and the defense came up with great plays time and time again.
Well, New Orleans will go to 5-4. They go to Denver next week, which will be a very tough effort for them. Then they play San Francisco at home, and then they go to Seattle. 14-10. The NFL on CBS will be back after this word from your local station.
There's a church in Florida that believes marijuana comes from God, that smoking pot is a holy ritual. If the court rules in their favor, it could affect marijuana laws everywhere. 60 Minutes, tonight on CBS.
There's the final score from RFK Stadium. The New Orleans Saints upsetting the Washington Redskins 14-10. They moved to 5-4. Sonny Jurgensen's on the sideline with that secondary. And Sonny, before you talk to him, there were 7 sacks by the Saints today for 54 yards. You got to credit those guys that are with you.
7 sacks, 54 yards. That is the story, but I tell you, at times, and I'm here with the secondary of the Saints. Over here, number 20, Eric Felton, Clarence Chapman, Tommy Myers, and Ray Brown. And what a job you gentlemen did today. Congratulations. You really have to be proud of the defensive effort of this football team.
Thank you, Sonny. It was an 11-man effort, and I can't say enough about the defensive line. They put tremendous pressure, and they contained Theismann, and they made our job a lot easier.
But you know, Tom, in looking at the game and seeing at times, he had a lot of time to throw the ball. There were some very late sacks. It looked like Theismann got back there, had some time to deliver the ball. Y'all must have known something coming in here and read his mind where he wanted to go, because you had people covered back there.
Well, I think we covered pretty well today. We knew that their game plan was to try to throw the ball short, and we tightened up on our coverages. We stayed in basically zones and didn't want to beat ourselves on one-on-one coverage, and our line just got after him. We had some injuries in the line, and Mike Fultz came in and played a heck of a game, got a couple sacks, just did a great job.
You know, when you think about him going back and having that time to think, did you change anything this week compared to other weeks as far as your coverage? This is the best I've seen your secondary look.
Well, like I said, everybody's back there is healthy now. We're feeling good. It's a lot more concentration. Like Ray said earlier, the line is giving a tremendous rush, so it's helping everybody out back there.
Is it because everybody's gotten used to it? I think Tommy told me this last week down at the Superdome. He said, you know, I got to give Ray Brown a lot of credit. Getting back in, you need a good, strong safety play to play the flex defense. Is that made the big difference in getting Eric back also?
I think, you know, Ray made a tremendous help, you know, to our defense, because if they can't run outside, they're not exactly going to beat us, you know, and he's an instrumental part to the flex. And as far as the corner play, you know, I thought when we got back, you know, things would come together, and our defense would just gel.
You know, something last week that I was just reminded of that y'all had to be very proud of as a secondary, that everybody got an interception last week. That's kind of unusual that, you know, usually the free safety, you know, he gets the tip balls, he comes up with one, but what happens last week, you all get one. That's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Right. I've been on teams where one guy might have got 3 or 4, but never each man. You know, we've been much maligned this year, but it was because of injuries. And, you know, our defense has been playing great the past 3 or 4 weeks. And, you know, we're gelling and we got momentum. And, you know, we're in first place tied with the Rams, and we're going to try to stay there.
Tell me this. You know, your team today, the Redskins had a lot of opportunities inside the 5-yard line. First and goal a number of times. I think they caught you for holding. I don't know if you were holding or not, Ray.
I wasn't holding.
But they had a lot of opportunities inside. After y'all had been a little bit, they moved the ball down the field on you, but y'all got tough inside of the goal line. What were you doing differently there?
We were trying to double one side. If they came out in a split back and split receivers, we tried to double one side or the other, and they came in there. When they came in their slot set, we tried to double the inside man. And, you know, as you know, as a quarterback, the field shrinks down there, and he's got to throw a pretty darn good pass to get it in get it in for a touchdown. And we were lucky. We had great pressure down there. That was the best part of our pressure all day.
And not only that, you played the run so well down. I thought the defensive line looked like they got up on their haunches in, and they were controlling the offensive line because they were getting penetration and making a big play.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot down in the goal line, a couple of calls kind of made us a little upset, especially the line, and that just made us just decide then that, hey, we're going to have to win this game. We're not going to have to wait for any officials to give us a call or hope that they make a penalty.
Sonny,
now,
can
when
you hear
think
me
of
down there?
You think of the game plan that y'all had, and you think of the New Orleans Saints. When you talk of the New Orleans Saints, the first thing you think about is the great offensive threats you have in the West Chandler, the Muncie, and the Galbraith. You know, you have in the Archie Manning. You think of you as an outstanding offensive football team. The thing that impressed me most today was the defensive play. Y'all, is this team for real?
We're for real. We're getting confidence, and I think we're playing with intensity. And when you play with intensity and emotion, you know, it just helps you a lot of times. When you make a mistake, you just play hard and you overcome it.
You really have to feel like now that you have an opportunity with, you know, you're still in first place in the NFC West, and you have an opportunity to go on and win your division. The first time that, you know, people are saying, are they a legitimate contender? I think you may have found out today.
Well, I think I heard something on TV, I guess on a Monday night game that made me mad. I believe Los Angeles was playing Dallas, and they said there was no way that the Saints was going to contend, you know, for the championship because we were tied with Los Angeles. But I think everybody knows better, and I know we know better, and we're just going to have to wait and find out and see.
Do you feel that this was kind of a big, to come into Washington? Washington's been hot lately. They were 6-2, even though they were in second place. To come in their own backyard and get away from here with a win like this, does this give you a lot of confidence for the rest of the season?
It gives us a hell of a lot of confidence and respect. And respect to Washington is so strong, you know, and it's something that is very seldomly done. And plus, it gives the team a lot of that momentum that we definitely need to carry on through the rest of the season.
What about it? Is this the best Saints team you've been on, Tommy?
I've been on 8 of them, and this doesn't compare with any of them. This, you know, we've got a heck of a team, like Clarence said, a hell of a team. And you know, we've got a tough schedule down the road, and nobody's going to give us our division lead or a wild card berth in the playoff. We got to go out and take it, and that's what we did today. We stepped up in class playing the Redskins, and we beat them in their home park.
I think from what you've all said, and from what I get a feeling from the indication that the New Orleans Saints are a real football team, and they're going to be fighting every game. And at the end of the year, we're going to hear something from the Saints.
We're going to take them one at a time, and we're going to beat them one at a time. And, you know, when you win, you make believers. So we got to prove ourselves each week because we got a great offense, but our defense, people don't think too highly of us. And if we can keep on and play the type of ball, you know, 14-10, and beat on the road, we're going to be tough.
I tell you, I thank you all for stopping by. Very nice. Good luck to you the rest of the season. Thank you, Clarence. Eric, good luck. Thank you, boys.
Okay,
well, you can
Sonny.
see how happy they are to win this football game, and they deserve it because they played their hearts out. We'll be back after these messages.
A big green football team, an endless yellow sea, a cherry pie, an orange sky, the bluest eyes you'll ever see. Yes, America's true colors come through on GE.
GE TV brings you America's colors vivid and lifelike, and our special VIR2 circuit adjusts the color automatically.
Yes, America's true colors come through on GE. GE, we bring good things to life.
Sharp razor blades are designed to give you a closer shave. Great for my beard, but can still be irritating to my skin. So I help protect my skin with Rise. Rise is thicker than the leading foam. Look, I can't even shake it off. Rise helps protect my skin against irritation. So for today's close shaves, get today's Thick Rise. Helps protect your skin against irritation. Thick Rise helps protect your skin against irritation.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger, and for the time being, New Orleans is in first in the NFC West, and elsewhere around the league, Pittsburgh leading Dallas 14-3. It's a fierce game. Roger Staubach out with a concussion. Drew Pearson has just been carried off the field, possible knee injury. We'll update. The game you just watched, the New Orleans Saints shut down on the Washington Redskins 14-10. The Saints record now is 5-4. Detroit leading Buffalo 17-13 in the fourth. Chuck Knox's offense has come to life, though, down the stretch in that game, and there's still time. Elsewhere, it is Houston 24, Jets 10. Wesley Walker out, injured knee for the Jets after catching 4 for 111 yards. Minnesota battling, needing a win, leading Tampa Bay 10-3. They are in the third. Kramer to Stu Voigt, 2 yards out for the game's only touchdown. 13-10, Cardinals over the Browns. O.J. Anderson from 3 yards out. Greg Pruitt, knee injury. He is possibly lost for the rest of the season. And Baltimore 17, New England 13. That game is at the half. And let me correct, I said that was Drew Pearson. That is Preston Pearson, who was injured. As a matter of fact, let's go live to Pittsburgh if we can, if they are not yet in a commercial. Let's check out. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have dominated this game. Franco Harris scored on a 48-yard run for a touchdown. It was the second one. He also scored from 1 yard out. So he has their 2 touchdowns, and he's their lone setback, and here he is right straight ahead at the Dallas Cowboys. So the Cowboys have lost Roger Staubach and Preston Pearson. The running back, it is now confirmed it was an injury to the right knee. There's Harvey Martin, Lewis, and the rest of the Cowboy defense. And, of course, if they lose today, then the Philadelphia Eagles can move into a tie for first. The NFC East, the Washington Redskins blowing a golden opportunity. Their record now 6-3.
Cowboys came in at 7-1. As for the Steelers, they lead the AFC Central at 6-2. Game ahead of Cleveland and Houston. Houston winning right now. Here's Harris as they go to work on the clock. Leading 14-3. They have dominated the game. And we'll stay right there with the game.
Brady, the Pittsburgh Steelers have shown a funny pattern this year, playing extremely well against strong teams and sort of so-so against weak teams. There goes Franco Harris again, the only man to score touchdowns in this ball game, but they lost to Philadelphia, they lost to Cincinnati, and people will be getting to say, what's wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, there's nothing wrong with Pittsburgh as long as they're playing a contender. That's when they play their best.
Here's 2nd and 5 now for Bradshaw, who's taking his time, letting the clock tick down. 14-3. Cowboys have not scored a touchdown. 98 yards rushing for Harris. This is Sidney Thornton, the other part of the Bull backfield. Now, next for the Dallas Cowboys, they will come in to East Rutherford, New Jersey, and take on the New York Giants. Then the showdown with the Philadelphia Eagles. They still have 2 games remaining with the Eagles. Now, for fans down in New Orleans who are watching, they are very much aware that it is a tough road ahead for the Saints. NFC Western Division teams are matched against the AFC Western Division teams. And so far, New Orleans has not played Denver, San Diego, Oakland, and Seattle. The schedule ahead for the Saints is much tougher than the one remaining for the Los Angeles Rams. For example, the Rams this afternoon play the New York Giants in the Los Angeles Coliseum. A win would tie them with the Saints. So it is not going to be easy for New Orleans to get into the playoffs. Franco did not get the first down in that situation. He got about a yard, about 98 for the afternoon. And again, the Steelers are just working against the clock. There's the 2-minute warning. We'll keep you up to date on that game as it unfolds, and the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
Hello, I'm Chuck Connors, and this is Tin Can Alley. An exciting new electronic target game that truly tests your marksmanship from as far away as 25 feet. But Tin Can Alley is safe because it only shoots a beam of light that's as safe as a flashlight. Well, even a rifleman sometimes misses. Tin Can Alley, for real target practice at home from Ideal.
Ella Fitzgerald is listening to Chuck Mangione while we're recording him on Memorex with MRX3 Oxide. Now Ella's going to listen again, but can she tell if it's Chuck live or the Memorex recording we just made?
Beats me! It's Memorex!
Reproduction so true we can ask, is it live or is it Memorex?
Some of the stats are now in from the New Orleans game. Manning, 11 of 17 for 131 yards, the 1 touchdown pass to Chandler. Galbraith carried 21 times for 60 yards. Chandler only caught those 2 passes in the first half for 64 yards, and of course the 1 score. Now we are back live with 1:57 to go. The Steelers are going to turn it over to Danny White and the Cowboys. White has replaced the injured Roger Staubach. The punt goes out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So the Cowboys are not going to get good field position. And again, they trail 14-3 is the count right now. And about 3 weeks ago, this Steeler team was embarrassed by the Cincinnati Bengals by 24 points, 34-10. It was no fun being a Steeler that following week. Chuck Knowles specialized in wind sprints, and he's got the Cowboys down now by a score of 14-3. Since that loss, they embarrassed Denver on a Monday night. Now they are dominating the NFC champion Dallas Cowboys. Number 11, Danny White, out of Arizona State. His opportunity now to drive the Cowboys back, but there does not appear to be much time. They would have to strike quickly, go for an onside kick, get it back, and then go in again. And the Pittsburgh defense has been awesome. Jack Lambert has been the last angry man this afternoon. From the shotgun, it's White. Deflected away, and that's the way it's been all game long. Now it'll be 2nd and 10. Dorsetterve has played well. He just hasn't been able to beat the last man.
He's played well. He's had a couple of runs where he almost broke out and went the difference. But again, Brent, that's what happens when you play against a great defensive team. There's Greenwood right there. He's had a big day, and he was the man responsible for knocking out Roger Staubach. But You know, a team like Pittsburgh just keeps coming in waves. You get past one wave, you think you're going to break free, and before you know it, bang, the linebacker wave hits you. You break through, and you think you're going to go, and the deep secondary wave hits you. They just keep pursuing and keep pursuing, and they simply intimidate an offensive ball club.
2nd and 10 now for Danny White. Eyes that tough Steeler defense. Long way to go from the shotgun. Complete. And Ron Springs may have just had the first down. He was close to the marker over there on the far side. And of course, we have just finished the New Orleans victory over Washington, 14-10. That was one of the faster games of the year. Now you're watching live. There was the final score. New Orleans runs its record now to 5-4 in the NFC West. And in the NFC East, Washington slips to 6-3. Philadelphia plays Cincinnati. That game will be starting in about 12 minutes. And the Los Angeles Rams are matched against the New York Giants. So with the first down for the Cowboys, Danny White will come up on the outside. Of course, he still has Drew Pearson. He has lost Preston Pearson, who's out with a knee injury, and they have Tony Hill. After we watch this game conclude, we'll show you some highlights from around the league. He goes underneath to the running back, springs again. So they first use Springs to the left and come back with him to the right, Irv.
You know, in that scouting report we did on the Pittsburgh Steelers last Monday night when they played Denver, Gil Brandt told me that in this kind of a situation, they'll come in with 3 down defensive linemen, go in with 5 linebackers and 4 deep backs, and it's very difficult to throw deep on them. They'll give you the short stuff, not the deep one.
Trying, and they've got Saldi incomplete. Jay Saldi probably should have had that ball. He was turned around to get him behind. There he is, number 58. And what an afternoon Jack Lambert has turned in for Chuck Noll and the Steelers. And of course, in this situation, when they know that the Cowboys have to pass, they just simply drop the linebackers off, get pressure on with 3-4 men. Well, that was a great defensive play. Winston coming out from the side, too, to help out. 1:05 left. Rematch of Super Bowl 13. Perhaps the best Super Bowl played. In fact, these two teams have engaged in 2 dandies. Super Bowl 10 was down in Miami, too. And the Steelers have handled the Cowboys both times.
They've played the Cowboys in 3 games when it really counted. Twice in the Super Bowl and once during the regular season, and they're 3-0, Brent.
Danny White, sidearm, first down at midfield. And Drew Pearson with that catch.
On the pass rush, again, a 3-man rush, pretty good pressure. But White staying in the pocket, has ample protection there as he looks upfield and finds Drew Pearson in the curl in. All he's trying to do is settle between the linebackers here, and he finds a spot, makes the catch. Number 31, Shell, brings him down.
All right, the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
A surprising message to Rolaids users. Tums neutralizes 1/3 more acid than Rolaids. Watch this familiar demonstration. 1 Rolaids and 1 Tums tablet are added to stomach acid. Both neutralize the acid. But on those occasions, when your stomach has even this much more excess acid, Tums can still absorb it. Rolaids can't, because tablet for tablet, Tums neutralizes 1/3 more acid than Rolaids. For acid indigestion and heartburn, take Tums.
Head and Shoulders doesn't have it. Selsun Blue doesn't have it. Only Denerex has it. An extra relief medicine to stop dandruff itch. You can feel it tingle.
All 3 have 1 medicine for dandruff itch, but only Denerex adds a 2nd medicine, an exclusive anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
You can feel it tingle. That's extra relief medicine, and only Denerex has it.
Denerex stops dandruff itch with extra relief medicine no leading shampoo has.
At 6-2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead Minnesota by a couple of games. We've got that game up. Let's go out live and check into Bloomington, Minnesota. It is a 3rd and 11 now for Doug Williams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Bud Grant has sent an extra defensive back onto the field. That's a 4th period score right there. Detroit ahead of Buffalo, still 17-13. And Joe Ferguson, though, is driving the Bills. They are near midfield in that game. Here's the 3rd down for Doug. Run out of the pocket, intense pressure by the Vikes, throws it down deep, and it's out of bounds. He just simply threw it out to stop the clock in this situation. Again, it is 10-3, Minnesota leading the Buccaneers, the Vikes at 4-4. Kramer hits Stu Voigt from 2 yards out. That's the only touchdown so far in this game. Minnesota probably the only team in that division that can still overhaul Tampa Bay. Let's show you some of the early moments from the Pittsburgh game against the Dallas Cowboys. Irv?
Okay, late in the fourth quarter, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers are still winning that game, 14-3. And in the first half, it was Terry Bradshaw going to number 84, John Stallworth, upfield, making a big play to get their offensive drive going. Stallworth, probably one of the most unheralded, underrated wide receivers in football, always seems to come up with a big play. Here he is right here in the first quarter. Bradshaw hitting him down to the 48-yard line, setting up a running play by number 20, Rocky Blyer, who goes off his left guard down to the 1-yard line. And Franco Harris, number 32, the only man to score touchdowns today, gets his first one there, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Danny White, late in the second quarter, calls a fake punt in the huddle on his own. Not Tom Landry calling his play. Throws a pass, incomplete, but the Dallas defense holds. And Pittsburgh takes over here again in another series of plays in the third quarter, Franco Harris going 48 yards for a touchdown, and Pittsburgh has a 14-3 lead, and everybody likes it. Here's a play where Staubach was injured. Now watch number 68 here. He's kind of wandering around, and all of a sudden Greenwood comes out of nowhere. They hit helmet to helmet, and Staubach is knocked a little unconscious there, and he has a little concussion right now. He'll be okay, as we've been reported to us, but he is down with an injury and out for the remainder of the game today. And then later in the game, another man injured, Preston Pearson, one of the most reliable receivers in football, goes out with a knee injury, and that's pretty much the story. The Pittsburgh Steelers lead that game late in the fourth quarter, 14-3, and the Dallas Cowboys are banged up.
In effect, it is over. Irv, the Steelers are going to get the ball back. Danny White couldn't get it in. They can run it out. They're ahead 14-3, so there's going to be no contest there. An awful lot of good games about ready to start. Coming up at 4 o'clock, the key doubleheader matchups, and the fans down in New Orleans, who are delighted that the Saints were able to win again, of course, will be watching the score of the Los Angeles Rams, see what they can do against the New York Giants. The Giants have been red hot lately. Now, to wrap up the Washington-New Orleans story, let's send you back to Gary Bender at RFK Stadium in Washington. Gary?
Thank you, Brent, very much. And it was a 14-10 win for the New Orleans Saints. They now are 5-4, and as you said, waiting on the outcome of that Rams-Giants game. Sonny, it's interesting to note that the Saints have 3 road games in the next 4 weeks. But you know what they are on the road this year? They're 3-1, and a big, big win here today.
It shows you the improvement in this football team, because they used to play very poorly on the road. And I think from talking with those guys after the game, they believe in themselves, and I think they're going to be heard from the rest of the year.
Well, let's look at the stats. Now, some things are very equal, but I think one of the interesting things was that the Redskins had only 47 yards passing.
That's true. You have to give the credit to that secondary. Theismann did have a lot of time at times to throw the football, but he was sacked 7 times, but only 8 out of 16 for 47 yards. Give the defense credit for stopping that.
Well, we were checking while we were away, and we found out in the second half alone, Sonny, the Redskins had the ball on 15 different plays inside the 10-yard line, and that shows you how tough that Saints defense was.
Boy, for them to come up and make the play, they say you have to make the play in the crucial situation. Their defense made it all day long. And as we mentioned to them, you know, you think of this team as an outstanding offensive football team, scoring 197 points coming into this game. But today, I think their defense got a great deal of respect.
Well, they had 6 sacks before the day was over. I also checked back. In the first quarter, there was another drive where the Redskins had the ball 9 plays. They eventually ended up with a field goal. 2 big blocks in this game. Mark Mosley had a field goal block, and also Garo Yepremian, a little guy who makes the neckties, had his string of 20 straight, an NFL record snap. But as you look back on that play again, it was good defense on both blocks.
I tell you, just watching the plays all day as we talked during the game, the momentum shifting back and forth, Gary, it was amazing. You know, the Redskins being in there the way they were, having all those opportunities inside of the 10-yard line, as you pointed out 15 times. I don't think they're pleased with the way they played football today. They're 6-3. This is where they started their skid last year. But even though they had the ball in there that many times, they still had an opportunity to win the game right at the end of the game, and you got to give the credit to the Saints. They came up and made the play when they had to.
Sonny, you and I both talked to the Redskins. They were scared of this game. They were concerned about it. They were really not happy with the intensity they had in practice all week long. I'm not taking anything away from New Orleans, but it was a dangerous situation for Washington.
Well, that's true. We talked at the beginning of the game. We said they were confident but cautious, and cautious they were, even talking to the coaches on the field before the game. They weren't as confident as I've heard them before other games this year, and they had reason to be so because they didn't play as they wanted to play, but they were scared of the very talented New Orleans Saints football team.
Okay, well, it's not going to get any easier for Washington. It's Pittsburgh next week, and you know what they're doing to the Dallas Cowboys today. And as mentioned, going to be very tough for the New Orleans Saints because they go west to meet the Denver Broncos, then return against San Francisco, and they're at Seattle. So a big win here in RFK Stadium. A win of 14-10 for the New Orleans Saints. For Sonny Jurgensen, this is Gary Bender saying so long. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
Tonight, Archie Bunker's place adds a restaurant.
We are broke.
But Archie loses his
friends. No.
laugh. Tonight.
This is CBS.